I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Claw marks on my sides, on my...
So it left physical marks?
Oh, they're still there. Yeah. I had no idea what that was. I knew it was spiritual immediately.
What atheist science bro would say here, he used to be like probably like a younger, like skinnier guy. Started getting fat. He woke up one day with stretch marks and he's like, bro, it's a demon. See, look at this though. Look at, like, come on, son. When he was a kid, like, look, dude, he looks like he's someone from like a Willy Wonka movie right here. But then you go here, this is the state of where you're at right now. Cheeseburger head, like the collar of your shirt, it's like dripping out the rest of your head. Like it's just chin, neck, same ratio, but not in a good type of way, like a Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a dude who like works out his neck or some type of way. Like you got like cheeseburger neck. The only demonic was the amount of cheeseburgers you were ingesting and farting that shit up in bed all night in order for that to happen. Like you hallucinated the demon attack from the Five Guys farts that you were releasing. Son, cheeseburger neck. Very normal, good looking dude. And then he did cheeseburger to his shit. Anyway. Ex-psychics, terrifying warning, opening a demonic door. Let's see what the Christian broadcast has to say about this shit, bro.
Well, Jen, once again, we have an interesting report to break down here. There is new research from the Pew Research Center, and they do some really wonderful research. So it's interesting that they dove into astrology, tarot cards, and fortune tellers. And what Pew found was that 30% of Americans, about 3 in 10 Americans, use these things at least one time a year. Again, that's tarot cards, astrology, fortune tellers. As a former psychic medium, what was your reaction to these numbers?
Oh, I thought it was horrific, to be quite honest with you, but I can't say that I'm completely surprised. I agree that it's great that there was a study. In this article, it went on to say that low percentage doesn't necessarily, you didn't even ask me that, Billy, I'm sorry, but doesn't necessarily believe, and that's a big problem. Many people are going because they think it's entertainment, but I want to argue something as a former psychic. How sure are we that they don't believe a little bit? How do we know that when they go for that reading, it's not like, oh, I wonder what they're going to say?
So she is going to conflate tarot cards and astrology with like bad. So she went from believing in Mercury and Gatorade, and now what does she believe now, bro? Is she like in Christian fundamentalist? Do people see astrology as entertainment? I see it as entertainment. Like, are you gonna tell me that I might not believe it's entertainment and that there's some factual truth to it? If so, dude, I would have like probably had like 7 children right now if I really believed in astrology. Or if I believed in Christian fundamentalism, I would probably have 7 kids as well.
When you're surveying people, it's like when you ask somebody, when's the last time you gave a donation? People will always, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they'll always say, oh, it was like last week or last month, because you actually believe that, but really it might have been a year ago that you gave money. When you're answering certain questions, you may think that the researcher will think it's silly if you say you believe, right? So I would bet you're right. I would bet that that number on the trust factor is actually...
So they just say, all right, study is completely false. I think more people believe in tarot cards because now what we're going to do is we're going to just try and fear monger that the astrology is going to you in the ass at night. The title of this video is opening a demonic door. Like if you check your chart today, a demon is going to you in the ass.
1 in 10 Americans said that they engage mostly because they get helpful insights. So people might downplay that and say, oh, well, it's only 1 in 10. That's a pretty large number of people still, though. I mean, right, that are actually finding helpful insights in this information. I don't know if you want to reflect on that at all.
Number one, whether you believe or not, you're opening a demonic door, which is so heartbreaking.
There we go. The demonic door. Hold on.
That's just the truth of it. If you're going to use a tool of divination, you're going outside of God's will and boundaries. It doesn't matter what your reasoning is for it, and then you're inviting that into your life. So that's really heartbreaking. For people that say that they're going to it for wisdom, hello, I did that myself. I totally understand that, and especially in such a chaotic world that we live in, and I totally get that desire, yet that's the desire man has had since sin came about, and Satan tempted Eve in the garden, right?
Bro, did she get divorced or some shit? Like, yeah, astrology failed me. Now I'm gonna go rely on Jesus, bro. She like would definitely hate Pokemon. Like I remember this era of like Christian white lady when I was a kid. They were telling me like Pokemon is like demonic and I used to go to church. Come on, son. We want to have like a little bit of fun. The little Pikachu is not going to end the world. And on top of that, Pikachu was at the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on this AI video I watched. So Pikachu is definitely down with the Holy Spirit. Anyway.
For the majority of your life, you spent in that world from very young until you were in your late, 30s. I mean, you believed this. You believed it was real. You believed you were helping people. You believed you were connecting with the dead. Talk a little bit about that just so people understand, because we can say all day, well, most Americans don't really think there's anything going on here. They're just doing it for fun. But as a practitioner, you actually believed very much so, and you were engaging with the spirit realm, just not the types of spirits you thought.
This is about to get crazy.
I believed I had this gift from God, as it was reported to me from the New Age community, and I believe that. Why else was I getting detailed information, not random, detailed information about random people and random places, but then also when I was doing readings on a regular basis. So I was going around anywhere I went, I was followed by this multitude of demons feeding me information and using me as a pawn for the evil one.
Dude, hold on.
I also was a client many times. I was getting readings for years of my life, Billy. As you know, my first one was at 13. And after that, I too went to divination. Even when I did my own readings, I did automatic writings on myself. I channeled. I went into a meditative trance-like state and I channeled. And it was always to ask a question, to find something out about my life. So I can understand both. But the reality is that this is a very real thing. It's really demonic. And blowing it off as some sort of game or entertainment party fun thing is a very dangerous thing to do.
It's not a game. Yo, I'm going to, dude, that's it. Anyone who talks to me about the Gatorade Mercury showing them in this goddamn video, it's not a game. Stop playing with that. The sun and the moon, tarot cards, it's dangerous.
Young adults, especially young women, they are more likely to look at astrology and horoscopes than most other groups. Why do you think young people, especially young women, are so entrapped in that when you compare them to other age groups and other individuals?
Girls are just horny, bro, and they want to know what the they want to do. They need guidance because guys are terrible, disgusting pieces of shit. And any guy you date could be a landmine. They could turn out to be some guy that just watches Christian broadcast news, for example, and also does nefarious, terrible shit to women. So women will use astrology, figure that shit out, try to get out of it, or try to just navigate dating a specific way. I've talked to like many girls that do tarot cards that do it for that reason. I don't give a about like why. I want to know her story and how the we ended up here on the CBN where she had some experience. I gotta know.
We have to remember that our culture today is certainly targeting that age range with the female musicians that are all I am woman, hear me roar.
Well, and that's a really good point. And I think women too, and I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. There are plenty of women who are logical and plenty of men who are emotional, but the point is women are more in tune to emotion in general, and men tend to focus more on, does that make sense? The logic. And so you need both of those things in life.
What any of this conversation has developed into is absolutely doing for women, bro. It's not helping. Even what I have to dissect from this is not doing. If you actually give a about what young women are going through, this is doing nothing. How about I don't know, bro. Give them health care. We all want to know what our future is, but we're not intended to know that. We're intended to trust God for what he has for us and to be in his will. So there's a lot here. I don't know if you want to reflect on that at all before I get myself canceled. I don't think you're in danger of getting canceled from being diet misogynistic on YouTube, bro. I think like the people who are in danger of getting canceled right now are people with green cards that go to college right now, bro. Like I think you're fine, bro. I want to know what happened, bro. What happened to the floral shirt lady, dude? What?
We're both canceled, don't worry.
You holy dude. I am like gonna puke. This is so corny.
Actually, what I would like to mention is going back to the people that are saying that it is just entertainment. You're going for fun, right? What happens today then your fun reading comes up with something in that reading that you understand, that is accurate, that resonates with you, and you have that oh my goodness moment, that shock factor. Now what happens, Billy? Because let's say you go 9 times out of the 10 and 9 times out of the 10, you're still laughing it off, but that 10th time you hear something that hits home in a really big way and at a really vulnerable time of your life.
Yo, what, dude? Like, did she offend herself with her own tarot card reading? Like, she flipped over a tarot card. Yeah, you're a fucking really loud, annoying asshole. Like, you don't know how to shut up. And then she like looked at it like, what the hell? Like, there's some truth to that, but that was rude. You know what? I'm becoming Christian. Is that what happened, bro? I'm thinking like an actual demon like came out. He just fucking did like some fucking voodoo bullshit and then like turned the TV on and forced her to watch any other news channel besides Fox News and was like, look, it's CNN. You get I'm the devil. And then he just floats back out. And then she's like, holy shit. I'm trying to figure it out, bro.
This is not positive. This data is not positive, but the glimmer of hope in it is that there are people who are open, young people, to something bigger than themselves, right? That they're realizing that it's not just what's in front of us. So the goal would be, how do you get them away from tarot cards, astrology, and all of that and get them towards the Lord? But do you think because we're watching so many young people start to question the secularism that we have, that maybe that might be driving more of this, unfortunately, again, but because they're looking for that truth?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the ultimate spiritual battle, right? The tug of war between quote unquote good and evil, God and the enemy, that we see the spiritual battle happening in the high places. And we see the enemy trying as hard as he can to influence the youth and the rest of people too, for souls. It's a battle for souls. And
it's a battle for souls, bro. Yeah, like this with astrology and like Christianity, it's just like Dark Souls PvP. It's like the same thing. You're battling for souls, bro.
People can go to xpsychicsave.com. That's your website. And you have a big project right now that you are fundraising for, which is a film, Out of the Shadows, and X Psychic Finds Jesus.
Just making a movie out of this story, bro. You know what? This article, this whole conversation, where is this? Can I get links? Jen Niza, X Psychic Saved. Where are we starting, boys? I just found a feast of bullshit.
Facts about witchcraft. Number 5, a certain result of witchcraft will be demonic oppression or possession. It doesn't matter how many crystals you wear, how many times you cleanse them, no matter what the moon cycle is. It doesn't matter if you put salt around yourself or even hold up a crucifix, for heaven's sakes. Repent of that witchcraft today and put your faith and trust in our Lord Jesus Christ. 5.
No matter what happens, if you do that astrology you're going to get possessed. Now you're fucked. Once you get possessed, then it's over. That was convincing, bro.
Thank you, Tucker Carlson, for publicly reporting your demonic attack. I'm so sorry that you went through this, Mr. Carlson, and I just want to say I totally understand.
As far as my politics go, I am like policies and like events oriented. Like I know what's going on with bills being passed, like stuff like that. As far as like Tucker Carlson goes, I don't know shit about this guy. Demonic attack, bro?
Do you think the presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good?
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism or just?
Nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled.
Yo.
Physically mauled.
Yo. Dude, this is real?
Or by something unseen that left.
Is that right?
Claw marks on my sides, on my...
So he left physical marks?
Oh, they're still there. Yeah.
Yo, bro, do you have get a police report? Can any doctors talk about this? Did he not go to the doctor because the doctor's fake news and they would have tried to give him a vaccine to turn his brain into demon juice?
A year and a half ago.
Was your wife terrified? I know you were.
I wasn't. I was totally confused. I woke up and I couldn't breathe and I thought I was going to suffocate, and I walked around outside, and then I walked in and my wife and dogs had not woken up, and they're very light sleepers. And then I had these terrible pains on my rib cage and on my shoulder, and I was just in my boxer shorts, and I went and flipped on the light in the bathroom, and I had 4 claw marks on either side underneath my arms and on my left shoulder.
You're just going to say all that shit and then just be like, yo. Like, look at the way he's looking. Like, he's dead ass, bro.
Wait, they were bleeding?
They were bleeding, yeah. No, they were actual claw marks. And I sleep on my side, so I wasn't clawing myself. I don't have long nails. And they didn't fit my hands anyway. But yeah, that happened. I had no idea what that was. I knew it was spiritual immediately.
You did? Okay, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Okay, what atheist science bro would say here, he just got really fat. Like, he used to be like probably like a younger, like skinnier guy. Started getting fat. He woke up one day with stretch marks and he's like, bro, it's a demon. I know it was. He's always wearing a suit, so it's hard to tell. See, look at this though. Look at, like, come on, son. When he was a kid, like, look, Timothy Chalamet, whatever the f his name is, like, look at his son. Dude, he looks like he's someone from, like, a Willy Wonka movie right here. But then you go here, all I'm saying, bro, is you were, like, packing up those in Twinkies and you got stretch marks. It's not demonic scratches, bro. This is the state of where you're at right now. Cheeseburger head, like the collar of your shirt, it's like dripping out the rest of your head. Like it's a bottleneck. Chin, neck, same ratio, but not in a good type of way, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a dude who like works out his neck or some type of way. Like you got like cheeseburger neck. The only demonic was the amount of cheeseburgers you were ingesting and farting that shit up in bed all night in order for that to happen. Like you hallucinated the demon attack from the Five Guys farts that you were releasing. On God, that's what happened. I know you were having hallucinations because what the f were you doing with this haircut? Nah, that's fake. His haircuts are pretty like son. Cheeseburger neck. Bro, if he just like cut out the neck, like he would be able to get away with saying any of this. People would not give a f. I feel like the only like negative connotation that people have with him is probably because the neck, like they just don't like when he talks because that shit is probably flapping around, bro. His gullet is out of control. They need to get a fucking leash on it. What did I have up here? Yeah, nah, that's a insane picture. He looked like very normal, good looking dude. And then he did cheeseburger to his Anyway, you guys want to know what? I just like looked for what kind of camera they use for this video like 20 times. You want to know why I can't figure it out, bro? Because I have not prayed to God. That's why.